Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea, and today I want to talk to you about Rod and Staff Grade 2, all of their language arts stuff. Now, I have ordered, I ordered phonics, English, and the reading program from Rod and Staff Grade 2 for my daughter. Now, I did not know this before I ordered from Rod and Staff. Somebody put in my comments, they said that if you call Rod and Staff, they'll send you like a little sample of some of their materials in case you're not quite sure if you want to order it or not. And I was like, that is a hot tip because I did not know that. I just kind of, especially being over here in England, I just kind of have to cross my fingers and hope everything works out because it takes a long time to get here. I can't go and flip through the stuff. I kind of just have to order it and hope everything works out. Now, I've been pleasantly surprised with everything that I have ordered from Rod and Staff, and I'm going to show that to you today. Now, it kind of seems like a lot of workbooks, and I know that that's what it looks like. But I'm not planning on using all of them. But I do really just like the structure of how they structure their lessons. So what I will go through first is phonics. And we have already gotten started on the second grade phonics. Let me grab that actually. Okay, so this is the Unit 1 phonics workbook for grade 2. And then this is the teacher's manual. Now, the phonics program is kind of the main reason why I got all of this stuff from Rod and Staff. I still wanted to do a pretty full-blown phonics work with my daughter. Reading hasn't come as easy to her as it did with my son, but I actually just think that she's probably pretty normal, pretty common, and I just want to make sure that she really gets phonics down because she is a good reader. She just needs a lot more practice. So the lessons in the teacher's manual just kind of look like this, where it gives you how to structure a lesson, like going over letter sounds, letter forms. It has an answer key for what you're doing in this phonics workbook. This is where it got started. So this is lesson 1 from the phonics workbook for second grade, Unit 1. And it starts pretty much back at the very beginning with sounds and then underline pictures that begin with the sound and print the first sound for the picture here, matching letters, printing small letters that go with their capital, print the capital that go with the small letter, and then sounding out these little blends on the side. And then you kind of progress into stuff like this, like the k sound, and how to know if it's the C or the K or the CK and how to figure that out. So it's just a really good additional intro to phonics, which is exactly what I was wanting for her. I wanted to have a really good review, almost starting all over again, but in a different way. I didn't want to just go back and open up her phonics primer that we had been using. I want it to look like something different, but that was ultimately going to review everything that we've already gone over before. And so, you know, the practice gets a little bit longer with every lesson, but it's going really well and I really like it. Anyway, so there are these workbooks for phonics. So with phonics, there is so there are 3 units with phonics, 2 workbooks for your child, and then a teacher's manual that comes with it. It definitely goes through everything that you need to know when it comes to phonics throughout the whole program. This is one of the final lessons in the workbook, if you can see that. Oh, there was another phonics workbook that I didn't mention here. Did I mention this? I was wrong on what I said was the last phonics lesson. It goes even further. I typically have used Alpha Phonics with both of my kids, and it's basically going through essentially everything that we learned in Alpha Phonics, but through a workbook version of it. And some more instruction. One of the things that I love about Rod and Staff is how thorough the teacher instructions are and how it is like mapped out on exactly what to say and what to do and what to teach and in what order. Okay, now the reading portion of what I ordered is massive. I never really kind of get a good grasp on when I'm like, yeah, send me the grade 2 reading program. I didn't realize that it was going to come with this much stuff. So looking through it, this is the teacher's manual, just like in phonics. It's structured the same way. So I really appreciate that. With these reader series. It tells you exactly what to do before the lesson and then what to do after the lesson. And so basically how this is structured. Let me open up. This is Reading Workbook, Unit 1. And so I'll just show you. First, what you do, it has it listed right here. So before you do the reading, you go over these new words and sounds, some review words from the last lesson. And then it might have some exercises on some things that you can do to use these new words. Then you do the reading lesson, which these are all very short. Like this is lesson 1, just this right here. And this is lesson 2. This is lesson 3. And in looking through the reader, it's all basically paraphrasing things and stories from the Bible. And so I like that it's not twaddle at all. I mean, it's a way to become more and more familiar with Bible stories. And the Bible stories are compelling. It's compelling information and things to read. So I do think that this is going to be something that my daughter really likes to do and likes to read. And so then after you do the reading practice, it has here like things that you can do after you do the reading section, and then you can do the memory verse practice down here. So it's also kind of including some copy work. Each lesson seems to have a memory verse that goes with it that you then copy down in the section. And so I think what my plan is on this, that I like the before you do the reading practice where you go over some words that you might not be familiar with. I think that will really help with the confidence on reading. My daughter in particular tends to get frustrated when she doesn't know a word because she feels like she should know it. And so before we do the reading to go over the words that she definitely wouldn't know, I think it's going to be really helpful. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look through and choose the parts of the workbook that I think are going to be useful, and then just not worry about the other parts. I really have learned over the years to not feel like I have to have them complete every single blank in every single workbook. If it doesn't serve us, then we're only going to use the parts that do serve us. And I love the reading practice on how they're Bible stories. It's not twaddle. So anyway, I think that this is going to be great. So all of these workbooks, why there are so many is because there are 5 different units. There's these workbooks, and then this is the teaching manual. And then these are the readers. And I also love the readers because they are hardback covers, so they're not going to get all beat up looking. They look nice on the bookshelf. My daughter does like to take her readers that she's working on and like take them up to her room and use them to read during her good night time and stuff like that. So, and sometimes they can kind of get a little beat up looking, but these are going to stay nice, so that's good. Anyway, okay. So now when it comes to English, this is where we kind of get out of the Charlotte Mason method, because Charlotte Mason is saying for year 2 to work on phonics and copy work, narration, reading practice, stuff like that. They don't recommend getting into a structured grammar until 4th grade. However, I kind of like to have a little structured grammar because, especially since we're trying to learn a foreign language, I don't know, I just find it a really hard thing to avoid. I want my daughter to know the difference between what's a noun, what's a verb, because we're just talking about these things when we're learning Spanish. So I got this English program, and again, I'm probably not going to use all of it. I'm going to use parts of it, but I just think that if I can even get a little bit out of here, it's going to be super, super helpful. So this is English grade 2. This looks exactly like how their math teacher manuals look. It looks just like this, where this is what the child is seeing, and then these are all of the teaching instructions down here. And it's essentially scripted. It says, these are the things that are new this week, and these are review. These are some additional things if you want to move ahead and do something outside the scope of the lesson. So I love all of that, and even how they have a hierarchy of like, make sure you hit this. This is extra if you want. What it starts with, and then this is the version, this is just a paperback workbook for my daughter. And this is lesson 1. So quite literally, nouns. Nouns name people. And there's not just a ton. I think that these lessons are going to go by very quickly. They're pretty short. And like I said, I'm probably not going to do everything. But see, I mean, we're doing nouns. The first 21 lessons in this are all about nouns. So she's going to be quite familiar. And then it moves into verbs. And then it even starts to do just a very gentle intro to diagramming sentences. This is just a really, really solid way of introducing English grammar to a second grader. I just really appreciate all of the help that it has for the teacher. I learned so much with these two. I am constantly amazed on how much I learned just from 3rd grade math and the 2nd grade English. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sure that I was taught this at some point, but good to know. Good to know. Anyway, so this is the teacher's book for 2nd grade English. These are the workbooks that go with it. And then I also picked up these wall charts. These go with 2nd and 3rd grade English. And it's just things to have up to remind your child on what we're working on. So I noticed in some of the teaching guides, they have a place where it says refer to thus and such wall chart, and so that's what these are. So the wall charts from Rod and Staff came like this. There's this many. They look like this. And so with whatever we're working on, I'll probably just have above her desk for the time being. That was a lot. I got to the 4th grade English for my son as well. There's really no difference in how the teaching guides are set up. I mean, it's really, once you get used to one Rod and Staff teaching manual, you kind of understand all of them. So I love that, love that. And then I just love how focused they are on trying to teach God's word within your lesson. I hope that was helpful for you to go through all of the 2nd grade kind of language arts stuff that I got from Rod and Staff. I know it's super helpful for me to be able to see it before I buy it, so I really appreciate these types of videos on YouTube that really kind of tell you exactly what is in it. But like I said, great tip from a viewer. Apparently, she called Rod and Staff and they sent her a little package of like, here's a little example of what our lessons look like. So if you're interested in that, feel free to contact them. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. And I hope you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.